is an investigative journalist whose writing has appeared in the New Yorker, National Geographic, the New York Times Magazine, and the Atlantic. His latest book, How to Make a Killing, Blood, Death, and Dollars in American Medicine, is a sweeping expose of the dialysis industry and is based on 6 years of research. Tom?
Thank you very much, Gustavo, and thank you all for being here. I am, as Gustavo said, I plead guilty. I am an investigative journalist, and I have started learning about dialysis about 6 years ago while I was writing a book about whistleblower, crisis of conscience. And it wasn't long before I saw that dialysis has more whistleblowers per square inch than any other industry I've run across. Now, why would that be? I think we've heard a few reasons already. A lot of insiders, including SCIU-UHW workers and patients, took big risks to tell me what they know. So thank you all for speaking out, telling me your stories, and sharing them as you are doing here on Capitol Hill today. After 6 years of reporting and research, I recently published this book, as Gustavo said, How to Make a Killing, Blood, Death, and Dollars in American Medicine. Now, you may deduce from the title that the book contains some strong statements about how the industry operates. And I should say that certain large dialysis corporations, Fresenius and DaVita in particular, have vigorously disputed my findings. But I stand by my reporting. I stand by my 6 years of research and interviews, and I encourage you to read the book, weigh its expert voices, sift the 60 pages of source notes at the back, and draw your own conclusions. My book describes a dark turn that dialysis has taken over the last half century. Back in the 1970s, dialysis represented a revolution in healthcare, and America did it better than any other nation on earth. Artificial kidney machines were a miracle cure among the most advanced, high-tech areas of medicine, and Congress, too, did its part did its cutting-edge work, forging a visionary piece of legislation in 1972 that guaranteed dialysis treatment for all Americans suffering kidney failure. This made dialysis America's first, and to this day, alas, its only, major Medicare for All program. How times have changed since 1972. Mm-hmm. Today, dialysis, once so advanced, has become all too often the worst in assembly line, fast food, one-size-fits-all medicine performed not in hospitals, but in malls and business parks. US patients die sooner, yet cost vastly more to treat than in any other developed nation. But the dialysis program is still Medicare for all, so the government, we taxpayers, still foot the bill, which has grown to billions and billions of dollars a year. This tragic decline in dialysis has coincided with the rise of two big, aggressive, rapidly expanding firms, DaVita and Fresenius, that now control about 80% of the market. Their business model, in my view, and the view of many people who have spoken already, all too often puts profits over the well-being of patients and of workers. While writing my book, I interviewed many workers from SCIU and workers and patients across the country. Again and again, I heard the same stories, saw the same patterns. Workers who suffer short staffing, chronically low wages, and high-pressure work environments that sound less like a medical facility than a MASH unit in a war. Patients who receive short, high-speed treatments that damage their hearts. Patients who are involuntarily discharged from their clinics and subsequently blackballed. Patients kept off transplant lists. Patients swept into dialysis before they even need it. And this is not just a California issue. This is a nationwide issue. This is systemic. It's an issue that affects 800,000 Americans with kidney failure, 500,000 of whom are on dialysis at any given time. And as we've said, including upwards of 40,000 veterans receiving dialysis at the VA or through its contractors. Poor dialysis disproportionately harms patients of color. It blights disadvantaged communities across America where dialysis clinics stand along dollar stores, payday loan shops, jack-in-the-box, as sentinel activities for a particular kind of neighborhood, a neighborhood where life is very, very hard. This needs to stop. After 6 years of exploring this industry and questioning a host of experts, I'm convinced that we need to return to the original vision of Congress. Dialysis as life-saving, cutting-edge medicine. Dialysis as a pledge to care for care well for every highly vulnerable American whose kidneys have failed. Congress has recently begun scrutinizing private equity firms for rolling up entire sectors of medicine and extracting profits at the expense of patients and workers. Well, the dialysis industry is in many ways the original private equity roll-up. A microcosm of financialization and consolidation in American healthcare that's costing us dearly. So my heartfelt thanks go to the members of Congress present here who are starting to take an interest in dialysis, because all of us, patients, workers, taxpayers, deserve better, and the stakes could not be higher. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tom. Thanks to the workers and the patients for sharing their stories. Their stories are powerful, their stories are real. And thank you to our allies in Congress for joining us today and taking a stand. That concludes our press conference. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.